Very good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the current affairs classes. I hope the audio and video is all good. Can anyone please confirm? So, we are going to start with 13th and 14th December news analysis. We will be covering 13th to 14th December news. And at the end, of course, the CA shorts or the top 5 MCQs. So, starting with the first news in the first category, ESI Finance. All good? All right. Thank you. ESI Finance and Business News mein we have. So recently there have been lot of growth revisions by these credit rating agencies, right? So need not remember everyone, just remember that they are cutting down or increasing the trend. All the ratings and growth projections just 3 or 4 months before your examination should be more important. You should be remembering those facts, right? So CARE ratings has revised downwards India's GDP growth forecast for the financial year 2025 to 6.5 from previous 6.8. CARE ratings has revised India's GDP forecast for 2025 financial year downwards. It has reduced the prediction to 6.5%. What are the reasons? You see, recently we have discussed primary reasons they have cited is lack of private investment, right, and the trade related activities. So these kind of things are there. Next you have Max Life Insurance has changed its corporate name. So this can be important. Max Life Insurance now is Axis Max Life Insurance. Just remember this much. You need not go into why this has been done. Just remember Max Life Insurance is now Axis Max Life Insurance. Okay, because it has basically received this regulatory approval, and as of first half of the financial year 2025, if you see, the Max Financial Services Limited services, it held 81%, and the Axis Bank, it held 19.02% stake in the Axis Max Life Insurance, right? So now eventually Axis Bank will be holding 20% of Axis Max Life Insurance, almost 20%. So remember, Max Life Insurance now is Axis Max Life Insurance. This much only is relevant. Then we have some data coming from Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance data regarding Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana as well as Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. So these two initiatives are very important. The data, all the data is not so much significant, but the schemes are important, right? First one, the Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana. Current status as cited by the Finance Ministry says cumulative enrollment so far, they have been 47.59 crores. You can remember this thing, okay? 47.59 crores, remember, under Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana. So what is this Suraksha Bima Yojana? If you see Suraksha Bima Yojana, it provides for your accidental coverage. So it is kind of an insurance policy which provides you coverage from accidental death, injury, disability, all these kind of things, right? Whichever disability, death or any injury arising out of an accident, so you are insured under this. This is accidental insurance. Also, if you see the premium contribution, it is quite less, only rupees 20 per annum. Only rupees 20 per annum. So this is the thing. And about this scheme, it was launched on 9th May 2015 from Kolkata. And this is 1 year accidental insurance, although it can be renewed again in the another year. 18 to 70 years in between will be eligible. Okay, so if you are aged between 18 to 70 years, you are eligible for this insurance. It covers death or any kind of disability which arises due to any kind of an accident. Okay, this is the thing. And premium we have discussed. Next one is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Current status of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, this is something you can remember because this figure is again and again in the current affairs, right? So for the recent examinations, this can be important. 54 crore beneficiaries. How much? 54 crore beneficiaries have been there under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. 54 crore. Remember this. What is this Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana? You all know this is a very broad, successful scheme in terms of financial inclusion, right? It aimed to open up, to make people open up their accounts, right? Free accounts, bank accounts, and Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, if you see, broader aim was to implement the GEM Trinity, right? GEM Trinity, Jan Dhan Aadhaar Mobile, and then eliminate the intermediaries from the government beneficiary schemes. Jan Dhan Aadhaar Mobile, if you have account, you have Aadhaar, you have mobile, all these three things linked together, the benefit amount under any scheme gets directly credited to your bank account, known as DBT, direct benefit transfer, right? So overall aim is this, and financial inclusion is of course an aim, because you are trying to increase the banking penetration, deposit penetration. So trying to develop banking habit in the people of the country, and then also trying to cover the underserved and unserved banking areas, the remote areas. So Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana is this. I hope the broader aim is clear to all of you. And it has attracted 54 crore beneficiaries, remember. If we talk about the static portion of this, so it was launched on 28th August 2014, and this is one of the largest, as I told you, financial inclusion initiative. Then UPI data is coming, and any milestone achieved by UPI is of course very, very important. Recently we have covered that UPI, earlier in October, UPI transactions, they created a new milestone by processing a record 16.58 billion financial transactions. Now there is another milestone which has been created. According to Finance Ministry, UPI has reached a major milestone, processing 15,547 crore transactions. 15,547 crore transactions worth rupees 223 lakh crore. Remember how much? 223 lakh crore from the period of January to November 2024. This can be more important than this. Why? Because monthly data, it changes frequently, right? But this is right from January to November 2024, a very broad range of data. So this can be important, please remember. How much? 223 lakh crores or 15,547 crore transactions worth rupees 223 lakh crores. I hope it is clear. So please remember, and UPI, is launched by NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. Presently, another probable question from this area is, how many countries have adopted UPI? So 7 countries are there. I hope by now you remember the name of all those 7 countries. Okay. So these are France, UAE, Singapore, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, and Nepal. So these are your 7 countries which have adopted or integrated UPI with them. Please remember their name. This is a direct question. Probability of direct question coming from here, right? They have asked these kind of questions. So 7 countries. Then moving on to next, Chrysler Limited has acquired 4.08 stake in Online PSB Loans Limited. Okay, Online PSB Loans Limited. Online PSB Loans Limited, it facilitates quick loans. The loan facility, if you remember, 59minutesloan.com was initiated by the government, right? 59minutesloan.com to provide faster access to credit to institutions, to individuals, etc. Collateralized or collateral free. So this Online PSB Loans Limited, it facilitates, it provides a platform to access this 59-minute loan, right? 59minutesloan.com under the broader scheme of 59minutesloan.com. So OPL, basically it was incorporated in 2015 and it is based in Ahmedabad. Nothing more is important from here. Nothing more is important from this section. Then next is Swiggy. Now this can be significant. Swiggy has launched Scenes app, which is giving competition to Zomato's District. Swiggy has launched Scenes app. What is the Scenes app? So it is an in-app feature in which now with the other services provided by Swiggy, you will be able to book tickets for shows, events, parties, etc. So this is the Scenes app launched by Swiggy. Here you can book your tickets for any show, any event, any party. And same has already been done by Zomato. And Zomato has launched this feature named as District for this purpose, where you can book your, say, movie, shows, etc. Right? So this is Scenes by Swiggy and District by Zomato. Then we have Fitch Rating has downgraded or has cut downwards the forecast for India's economic growth again. So we have seen Care Ratings has also revised it downwards. Fitch has also revised it downwards, okay, to 6.4%. Also, if you don't remember the downward growth projection given out by these credit rating agencies, one thing which you should absolutely remember is RBI's revision of the growth forecast whenever it happens, right? So write it down separately. Remember, recently RBI has cut down the growth projection of India as well from earlier 7.2% to 6.6% as of now. 6.6%. This figure is important. If you don't remember the ratings, that would be something not converting into a huge loss, but this is significant. 6.6 is now the growth projection by RBI. Then you have RBI data showing that India's outward foreign direct investment commitments, they have almost halved to $2.28 billion in November 2024. So they have declined basically, right? Outward. This is not inward. This is outgoing, not incoming, right? So it has halved. That means what we are investing outside the Indian economy, outward FDI, the foreign direct investment done by Indian residents outside the country, right? So it has reduced. This is not incoming one. That's why not a cause of worry. Then next you have Switzerland. Sorry, just give me a second. Just a second. Okay. So, yes, we were discussing about the Switzerland news. Switzerland basically has revoked MFN status, okay, or most favored nation status accorded to India under the Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement or DTAA treaty. Now, this is quite significant. First of all, remember the country. Switzerland has removed this. Now, what is the implication? What is MFN status? Let's try and understand. First of all, DTAA, Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement. What happens is so this is a broad topic. I'm just trying to sum it up in most least possible manner. You know that there are certain multinational companies, right? They are operating from a lot of countries. There is something called BEPS, Base Erosion and Profit Shifting. Okay, there is something called BEPS, Base Erosion and Profit Shifting. What happens? Suppose there is MNC ABC. It is also generating its profits or revenue from India, from America, from China, from Japan, lot of countries. Take an example of India that it is based somewhere else but also generating a lot of revenue or profit from India. But it is able to erode base erosion. It is able to erode that base from India. That means to the authorities of Indian government, it is able to show that no, from India, so you see our books, we are, or see our balance sheets, we are not able to generate profit from India. We are incurring actually losses from India. This is how they manipulate the figures. Getting my point? So they have eroded the base. Base is what? On which something is taxed. Now government is trying to do what? Government is trying to levy Google tax or equalization levy as we call it. What is the idea? The idea is if all these companies operating from somewhere else are making use revenues from our economy, they should also be taxed to make them, to bring them at par with the companies you have taxed in your domestic territory. Getting my point, everyone? Tell me, yes or no? This is equalization levy of Google tax, concept of the aim of the Google tax. This is not something levied on Google. The concept is known as Google tax to equalize the opportunity. Okay. Now what happens is companies, they try to erode the base. They try to show that no, we have not generated profit from your country, and they try to show their profits from tax haven countries. Tax havens. What are tax havens? Tax havens like Switzerland, right? So tax havens are countries where tax laws are very easy and where tax rates are almost negligible or very nominal. So you can show your profit from those countries. So you get to evade from the taxation liability. Now these practices were happening with a lot of companies. So government was trying to, tax. All the governments decided that we should be taxing such companies. But then again, another problem arose that there should not be double taxation. If a company is say taxed once in India, should not be taxed for the same purpose again in US. So government should also not incur loss and the company should also not incur losses. Because we are also trying to promote private investment, we need to bring FDI into the economy, all these things. So striking a balance between these kind of activities being done by companies, BAPs, and striking a balance between government tax revenue erosion came out DTAA, Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement. Countries, they signed DTAA where they try to devise the tax rates and tax such multinational corporations accordingly where they are not double taxed for the same purpose. This is DTAA. So recently there was this ruling of Supreme Court that Supreme Court cannot enforce these DTAA rules. The governmental authorities have to do that. Accordingly, after this ruling, there were certain sentiments which were heard. Okay, we need not go into that politics. But the thing is this is the background. Accordingly, Switzerland has removed its MFN status according to India. I hope this story is clear. Anyone please tell me yes or no. Did you get this thing? Right? So now MFN has been removed. Now what is this MFN? MFN is most favored nation. But contrary to its name is what? Most favored nation. But you cannot be most favored one. That means what? WTO says you should provide, as a trading partner, you should provide all the countries equal opportunity to trade with you or equal opportunity to bring your goods into their market. Right? If you are according MFN status, that means say easy custom duties, less custom duties, or sometimes even free under FTA, etc. So you provide easy access to those goods in your market. Suppose Switzerland has accorded India MFN status earlier, that means the Indian goods will be easily entering in the Switzerland market. No heavy custom duties and all those things, right? So border will be easy to enter. This is the thing. But then according to WTO's rule, if you are according MFN status to one country, remember this is a rule. If you are according MFN status to one country, you have to accord that status to all the WTO members. Otherwise, you cannot, right? Because otherwise, if you are doing this, you are creating a favorable trade for a particular country and making the trade opportunities unfavorable for the others. So if you grant someone MFN status, providing them easy access to your market, you have to do with the other WTO members as well. This is MFN rule. I hope the entire story is clear. BAPS, DTAA, MFN. Can anyone please tell me yes or no? Are you there? So I'm assuming you have understood this thing. Moving ahead. So this is the thing. Now it has been revoked because of the Supreme Court ruling. Certain sentiments were heard. Not going into politics. You also need not go into that. Okay. So accordingly, from 1st January 2025, Switzerland will levy a 10% tax. So this is the implication for India now, after removal of this MFN status. A 10% tax on the dividends payable to Indian taxes. Okay. Or the withholding tax now will be 10%. When we had this MFN status intact, they only charged 5% withholding tax. Now it is going to be 10%. What is this withholding tax? If you are paying someone dividend out of profit, okay, some investor, you are paying them their share of the profit or dividend. Before paying that dividend, you deduct certain tax, some amount of tax on that. That is known as withholding tax. You withhold certain amount in the form of tax before paying out that dividend or share of profit. This is withholding tax. So earlier it was 5% only due to MFN status. Now it will be 10%. That means dividends coming to Indian investors now will be less. More will be retained by the Switzerland companies or the owners. This is the implication, right? So, and broader trade applications and implications will be there. I hope the entire news is clear. This was it. Then moving on to regulatory bodies news. So again we have something important here. Regulatory bodies mein SEBI has proposed a new framework for retail participation in algo trading. Earlier institutional participation was there, right? So now you have retail participation as well in algo trading. And for that, it has notified a new framework. Certain important features will be there, which we need to remember, not going into much depth. Whatever is required will be discussed in the class. So investor participation, retail investor participation in algo trading, they have a new framework for this. First of all, remember, now retail investors, they can indulge in algo trading. What is algo trading? Algo trading stands for algorithmic trading. Algorithmic trading. What is this? So generally in trading what happens is you need to follow the entire day. Fluctuation in say volume, in price of the underlying derivative, right? But in algo trading, it eliminates the need or it reduces the need of constant monitoring. Why? It uses automated generated, algorithms. So automatically the algorithms are generated for the trade. They track the price, the volume changes, etc. So humanly constant monitoring by humans or by the trader is not required then. Also it reduces the time taken significantly. So will help investors, will ease out the process of algo trading where you use the automated or automatically generated algorithms. This is algo trading. I hope it is clear, everyone. Okay. Now, according to the new framework, what is the proposed structure? Let's discuss this thing, right? We have understood what is algo trading. According to the new framework, brokers could offer algo trading only after obtaining necessary approval from the stock exchange to each algorithm. Whatever algorithm you create for it, you will be allowed to offer algo trading to your customers or your investors only after taking appropriate permission or approval from the stock exchange. First thing, okay? All the algo traders, they must be tagged with a unique identifier which will be issued by the exchange itself to ensure that all such trades are audited properly. So basically it has to be properly documented and approved by the stock exchange. This is the thing. And the brokers will be required to obtain approval from exchange for any modification or change in the approved algorithm as well. Suppose the broker has produced an algorithm and then allowed the customer is trading on that algorithm. If via that broker the algorithm is changed or modified even by a certain extent, you need approval. Okay, from the exchange for any change, so as to avoid any kind of discrepancy and malpractices. Okay, this is the thing. Also, algos developed by tech-savvy retail investors using their own programming knowledge will also need to be registered. If say some retail investors, they themselves have created certain algorithms for this kind of trading, they will also have to get approval from the exchange, even if they are not doing that via a broker. I hope you have understood this thing. Yes or no? So these are the prospects, the new framework. Then the present status, if you see, is algo trading has primarily been available to institutional investors so far. Present status is this. That's why I told you now retail investors will also be able to do this easily. Okay. And for just your understanding, you have two categories of algos: execution algo and black box algo. White box algo or black box algo. What is the difference? In white box algo, you can get to know what is the logic behind this algorithm. It can be disclosed. You can get to know why this algorithm is working like this. So you can have access to that logic. But in the black box algos, the logic is not disclosed. It is secret. You only trade on that algorithm. You cannot know how that has been generated or what is the logic behind that particular algorithm. So this is the difference between black box and white box algo. I hope it is clear. What will be the roles and responsibilities of the stock exchanges? They will be overseeing the algorithm trading. They will be required to conduct post-trade monitoring of these algo orders. And they are also required to establish standard operating procedures for such algo trading. And the SEBI has introduced this algo trading through direct market access facility. So this is going to significantly benefit the institutional investors with fast execution. So what is this direct market facility, DMA facility? DMA facility is that even without, say, broker intervention, you can access the trade. This is direct market facility. In very simpler words, we have understood this thing. I hope it is clear, everyone. Algo trading and the types of algo, all these things, and the new framework. Then next, in the regulatory body segment, another important concept and news coming from SEBI is SEBI has introduced flexibility. So it has provided for some flexibility in the pro rata rights for the AIF investors. In the pro rata rights for the AIF investors. So first of all, what are these pro rata rights and what is this relaxation? Pro rata rights, basically, if you see, pro rata rights are the rights of proportionate distribution of the profit. This is to say, pro rata rights, they ensure the investor who has provided certain capital or invested certain amount into some security or instrument should get accordingly the profit as well. So basically, if you have invested say 1% or 2% and you are liable to receive 1% and 2%, then you should receive that profit. This is the pro rata right, proportionate to your investment, how much you are eligible to receive, right? This is pro rata right. So pro rata right relaxation is there. Why? To provide certain flexibility to AIF investors and promote the AIF investment activities in India. I hope pro rata rights is clear. Also, there is one request. It would be very convenient for me if you people can respond quickly, yes, no, because some concepts are very technical and I really try to make them very simpler for you to understand. But then if you are there and you can respond if you have got this thing or not, so it would be easy for me to move ahead with the next set of news. Otherwise, that's okay, not a big issue, but would be better if you can respond, right? So this is the thing. Remember, SEBI has provided this flexibility in the pro rata rights. Pro rata rights, I hope, is clear. Now, under this, pro rata rights, they will not apply to cases where investors, they are excused or excluded from specific investments, or they fail to meet their contribution to these obligations, or share profits such as carried interest with fund manager sponsors. Okay, specific industry entities like government-backed organizations, developmental financial institutions may opt for junior or subordinate units accepting lower returns or higher risks compared to other investors. Basically, what all this is trying to say is sometimes there are higher risks. So particularly government entities, because you cannot curtail the profit of the private entity, right? Government has the motive of welfare, private does not, private sector does not. Such entities, specific entities or government-backed entities, they can sometimes accept lower returns. This is the catch from here. They can sometimes accept lower returns due to some higher risk compared to other investors on their investments via alternate investment funds. This is the relaxation. So here your pro rata right is relaxed. Why? This is to recognize the fact and acknowledge the fact that certain investments, and particularly AIF, you see, they gather money from high net worth individuals, right? Lot of money is at stake. So sometimes high risks are there. So to ensure protection, investor protection, this decision has been taken. This is the entire story of this pro rata right relaxation. I hope it is clear now, right? So moving ahead with the banking news segment. Banking news mein, you have Bob Card Limited has introduced Tiara credit card, a premium credit card for women only. Okay. So remember, Tiara credit card has been issued by Bob Card Limited. This is a women only credit card. Women only credit card. Okay, just a second. Give me a few seconds. All right. So let's resume the discussion. We were discussing that the Bob card has introduced a new credit card, which is Tiara credit card. Tiara, exclusively for women. It will be powered by Rupee network, and it offers a lot of awards on shopping and other categories like dining, lifestyle, entertainment, and health categories to meet the aspirations of the modern women. So this is the thing. And they have collaborated with cricketer Shreyanka Patil, who embodies this campaign tagline, "Your women card is your power move." So remember, they've collaborated for this with which cricketer? Shreyanka Patil. And the tagline of this campaign is, "Your women card is your power move." Then we have some data coming for NBFCs. The non-banking financial companies, they have clocked the highest growth rate in microfinance business. It is saying that in microfinance business, NBFCs have received the highest growth rate. They have been able to provide microfinance the most, right? So this is the data. If you see year-on-year growth for NBFCs from September and financial year of 2025, it was 27.6, and for banks, the year-on-year growth in the microfinance was just 10.6. So if you compare the microfinance activities which banks are engaged into and which NBFCs are engaged into, so NBFCs, MFI, the microfinance NBFCs, they are at much profit. Okay. This can be important. Then Yes Bank has launched Yes Business. This is something, they are trying to design a platform where they're trying to bring banking and the related services for MSMEs under one roof. So remember, Yes Business launched by the Yes Bank aims to do what? It aims to provide a platform where these MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, they can access banking services and the related services. Banking, insurance, investment, any other product line which can be offered by a bank, all these banking, core banking as well as related services at one platform only. So one-stop solution for the MSMEs. This is the Yes Business. And the central of this launch, to the center of this launch is Iris Biz by Yes Bank. What is this Iris Biz? It is a digital interface that will provide these wide range of solutions to simplify the process and provide MSMEs with all kind of these facilities at one platform only. I hope it is clear. Then you have ICICI Bank's board of directors. It has approved 19% stake sale in Lenders Associate ICICI Merchant Services Private Limited. Okay. So 19% stake in the ICICI Merchant Services will be sold out. Then you have Asian Development Bank approving $500 million loan to support India's economic growth through development of environmentally sustainable infrastructure. Now, to whom they have provided this loan, $500 million, it is going to be provided to IIFCL, India Infrastructure Finance Company Limited, IIFCL. India Infrastructure Finance Company Limited, you all know, is a big NBFC working towards infrastructure financing, right? It finances the big government projects or infrastructure projects. So it is going to be provided to this for sustainable infrastructure development, $500 million, remember. And Asian Development Bank is also important. So static portion of Asian Development Bank, you should be remembering. Asian Development Bank was established in 1966 and presently it has 69 members. Also, you will be telling me the headquarters of ADB. Okay, this is the question for all of you. Tell me the headquarters of ADB. Next is JP Morgan backed fintech company In Solutions Global, ISG, In Solutions Global. It has secured full authorization as a payment aggregator under the RBI's regulatory framework. So payment aggregators, we have discussed lot number of times. Payment aggregators, they are basically payment service providers, or it is a third party service that allows business to accept payment from customers through a single platform. So they provide these payment service platforms and they allow businesses, etc., to accept such payments from their customers via a single platform only. They need not register everywhere. So these are payment aggregators. They facilitate the online transactions, and so JP Morgan backed In Solutions will also be working as a payment aggregator. And capital requirement can be important for this. What are the capital requirements for a payment aggregator? So minimum net worth of rupees 15 crore should be there, and 25 crore by the end of the third financial year of post authorization. Once you have minimum net worth of 15 crores, you are eligible to operate as a payment aggregator. But then when you get this authorization to start working as a payment aggregator, after that, at the end of the third financial year from such approval, your net worth should reach at least 25 crores if you need to continue. Otherwise, you will not be allowed to continue. Okay, this was it. Then national and state news. So Rajmarg Sathi, NHAI, National Highways Authority of India, it has planned to introduce Rajmarg Sathi. What is this Rajmarg Sathi? Rajmarg Sathi is new route patrolling vehicles. They are trying to introduce this on national highways, because highways are something they're very prone to very types of incidents and accidents, right? So to ensure security of people and vehicles on the highways, they are trying to establish this patrolling units. Okay, Rajmarg Sathi. They will be conducting inspection of the national highways stretches, and they will be empowered, technically empowered as well, to quickly respond to any emergency situation. This is Rajmarg Sathi, launched by NHAI. Then next, Ministry of Civil Aviation has unveiled centenary celebration logo of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport, Kolkata. So centenary, 100 years celebration. Okay, celebrating 100 years, 1924 say 2024 of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport, Kolkata. So this is the picture you can see. This is the logo, centenary celebrations ka. Then next you have Vice President of India will be inaugurating, or Vice President has inaugurated this Geoscience Museum. So Geoscience, Geological Survey of India's Geoscience Museum has been inaugurated. Remember where? At the Victoria Market building in Gwalior, MP. So remember the location. This Geoscience Museum has been established at Victoria Market building in Gwalior, MP. It has been developed in coordination with the Gwalior Municipal Corporation and National Council of Science Museums. Okay. Then next, Ministry of Coal has selected applicants under category 1 and 3 of Financial Incentive Scheme for Coal Gasification Letters Award to 4 entities they have selected. Now, what is this coal gasification? See, coal gasification is a method with the help of which we try to reduce the emission generated from coal-based energy generation or thermal power plants. Now, what is the difference between coal burning and coal gasification? Coal burning is something which is highly responsible for emission of polluting gases, but then coal gasification is involving gasification of the coal, right? So it does not burn the coal, it tries to gasify the coal, and in such a process less of emission is there. So it is a cleaner option. I hope you understood that. Okay, it is a cleaner option. So it leads to less of emissions. Now for this coal gasification, letter of award, 4 entities have been selected, okay, for which the government will be providing them financial support or funds for their coal gasification based projects. So what are these 4 entities? Bharat Coal Gasification Chemicals Limited, then CIL GAIL Consortium, then Coal India Limited, and New Era Cleantech Solution. Remember these 4 names, okay, which will be working towards this coal gasification project and will be provided by funds by the ministry. Bharat Coal Gasification Chemicals Limited, CIL GAIL Consortium, Coal India Limited, New Era Cleantech Solution. Overall investment under this coal gasification incentive scheme, under which government is providing incentives for such industries adopting coal gasification process, which is more cleaner. The overall incentive is 8,500 crores. And under different categories, they have categorized this thing. You need not remember the lot of details under this. Just remember that under this thing, in category 1, they will be allocating 1350 crore per project or 15% of the capex. In category 1, for category 1 such companies which have been selected like this, Bharat Coal Gasification Chemicals Limited, CIL GAIL Consortium, they are placed in category 1. For them they will be providing, so total allocation will be either 1350 crore per project or 15% of the capital expenditure which has been allocated, okay, total investment which has been allocated for this category 1, uska 15% per project. Then category 2 mein you have so category 1 and 3 only are there, not category 2. 1 mein you have 3, Coal India Limited is also there, so 15%. Then third category mein you have 100 crore per project will be provided, or again 15% of the capex, whichever is lower. This is the distribution of the funds. This is not important, just remember the 4 names, all right. And you can remember this fact that India has a goal of achieving 100 million tons of coal gasification by 2030. You can read more about coal gasification. It is a cleaner option, and try to compare coal burning and coal gasification, right? So this is broader aim. How much? 100 million tons. This can be important. Remember, 100 million tons of coal gasification by 2030 is the aim. Then we have Paradeep in Odisha. So Paradeep basically. Paradeep in Odisha and Kandla port in Gujarat. They have crossed 100 million tons mark in cargo handling. So they are contributing a lot in cargo handling and contributing a lot in maritime trade of India. Paradeep from Odisha and Kandla from Gujarat. Okay. Then we have EV public charging station installation mein, which are the leading states. This is the data recently in news. In the electric vehicles charging, public charging stations, leading state, this can be important, is Karnataka, followed by Maharashtra and UP. So remember, leading state in EV public stations, EV charging, public charging stations. So Karnataka is the leading state, followed by Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh. Now moving on to state category. State category mein Delhi government has approved Mukhyamantri Mahila Samman Yojana. Okay, so Delhi government has approved Mukhyamantri Mahila Samman Yojana. This is to improve the life of marginalized women in Delhi, providing them financial assistance. So they will be providing under this scheme. First, 2 payments will be provided of 1,000 each to eligible women, okay, by end of the current fiscal year. Then the monthly amount is anticipated to rise to 2,100 from the forthcoming assembly elections. So पहले 2 installment दिए जाएंगे, 2 payment दिए जाएंगे, 1,000 each, and after the assembly elections they are planning to increase it to 2,100. Eligibility will be 18 years or older, and if your family income, annual family income is below 3 lakh or say up to 3 lakh only, then you are eligible. Only females, remember, this is for women. Next you have Prime Minister launching a lot of development projects, almost worth rupees 5,500 crores in Prayagraj, okay, which also includes your interception, tapping, diversion treatment of minor drains leading to river Ganga. These projects have been launched to ensure that the Mahakumbh, which is scheduled to be held in Prayagraj, goes on very smoothly without any problem. So this much is relevant here. And they have also launched Kumbh Sahayak chatbot. Remember this. They have also launched Kumbh Sahayak chatbot, which can be accessed by people to gather information regarding the Kumbh and the organization management, etc. It will be guiding people about the events. Then ADB has sanctioned $788.8 million results-based loan to Andhra Pradesh for development of Amravati capital as a green and smart city. So Amravati is said to be developed as a smart city and green city, offering world-class infrastructure, for which you know that the Asian Development Bank and World Bank have committed together to provide financial assistance. Okay, they have committed in principle to fund the development of Amravati capital with $1,600 million. Remember, jointly they have committed $1,600 million. Next one, Maharashtra government is trying to make India's first. So Maharashtra government is aiming to make the state of Maharashtra India's first $1 trillion economy by 2830. So they are trying to make the state of Maharashtra first state to reach $1 trillion of economy by 2028-30. MOUs and mergers mein you have Maruti Infrastructure has received, or Maruti Infrastructure has tied up with your Mainhart Group. Okay, Mainhart Group. This is to provide comprehensive, innovative solutions for building industrial infrastructure projects. Not so much important, just skip this one. Then you have BMW Group and UNICEF. So the BMW and UNICEF have partnered to transform educational landscape for almost 1 lakh children in 4 states. Okay, to provide them foundational learning under the STEM in India. So in India, they will be taking up 4 states and 1 lakh children will be provided with such training under STEM. What does STEM stands for? STEM is science, tech, engineering and maths skills. Science, tech, engineering and maths skills. So they will be reaching out to the marginalized group of people and their children in these states of, which are the 4 states, remember, Assam, Jharkhand, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal. Assam, Jharkhand, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal. Then next is TCS has extended partnership with the Telenor Denmark to provide the information technology based services, right? For handling the Telenor Denmark's infrastructure from its delivery center in Europe over the next 5 years. So it will be providing the Telenor Denmark services, ITIS services, infrastructure for the infrastructure of the Telenor Denmark. Info tech and solutions will be services will be provided. The next is science tech category. Science tech category mein you have NASA and SpaceX. They will be launching SphereX, which is an astrophysics observatory. So NASA in collaboration with SpaceX, they are set to launch this observatory. What is the name? Is SphereX. In February 2025, it is expected. SphereX. What is the full form? Spectrophotometer for the history of the universe, epoch of reionization and ISIS explorer. This is what SphereX stands for. It will be launched by the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from California. Basically, the aim of this, which you need to remember, is SphereX is, it will be creating an entire map of the sky, okay, in 3D. It will be taking images in every direction, like scanning the inside of a globe. So it is going to provide detailed 3D images of the sky, which will help in understanding galaxies and how the space is, right? Also, it will be carrying NASA's Punch. This is very important. Remember, Punch is always in news. And these missions recently in the examination, RBI Grade B, you have seen IRDAI phase 1, they are asking these questions. That this mission belongs to which country, or this is the event, which mission is associated with this event. So remember, SphereX is observatory, will be giving you 3D images of the entire sky. It will also be carrying NASA's Punch. Punch stands for what? polarimeter to unify the corona and heliosphere. Punch full form is polarimeter to unify the corona and heliosphere. So basically NASA's Punch mission is it has been devised with 4 satellites, equipped with 4 satellites. It will be studying sun's corona. It will be studying sun's corona and will help in understanding sun's corona and how these, solar winds they form and how do they move. This is the aim of NASA's Punch initiative, remember. So please remember these missions. Then you have Space Kids, Chennai-based space startup. They are planning to have an all-women scientific lunar mission by September 2026. If they do that, it will be the first one in such a category. So Space Kids is planning to launch a all-women scientific lunar mission by September 2025. Okay, let's see, are they able to do that? It will be landing on the moon's surface and is going to be, if it becomes successful, it will be the such first private player from India to conduct such a mission on the lunar surface or moon surface. Then the European Space Agency has announced that the key radio equipment which is to be developed for the Gaganyaan mission will soon undergo test at one of its facilities in Germany. Gaganyaan mission of India is something which you all know. Under Gaganyaan, we are trying to send first such mission where we are trying to send humans or astronauts in the space, right? So Gaganyaan mein we are trying to send crew members to the space. In Gaganyaan, we are also collaborating with ESA, European Space Agency. So European Space Agency will be providing us this key radio equipment, and they have said that it is going to test it very soon in one of its facility based in Germany. This is the thing. Also, under this overall agreement, ESA, remember, will also be facilitating ground tracking support for all Gaganyaan missions. All Gaganyaan missions, ground tracking support, where you will be tracking the mission from ground-based projects, right? Ground tracking mission is a proper synchronization of the signals, say, or messaging or signals between the spacecraft and the ground monitoring systems. So it will also help in ground monitoring of the Gaganyaan missions. Then you have ISRO achieving a major milestone after its CE20 cryogenic engine has passed a critical test in ambient conditions, okay, which can restart. So it has a restart enabling system. What is this cryogenic engine? Cryogenic engines are now very popular in the launch vehicles because you have different stages of fuel in these launch vehicles. First stage, second stage, third stage. They are initiated according to the trajectory of that spacecraft or the rocket, okay. So say you are in a lower Earth orbit, then you move on to higher Earth orbit, so you need more fuel. So several stages are there. Now what is the benefit of cryogenic engine? Cryogenic, it tries to convert the cryogenic technology, basically very low temperature technology, almost minus 150 degrees centigrade, right? So on this temperature, you have this fuel, and it helps in less retention of the space. It is less heavier and more effective. This is the benefit of cryogenic fuel or cryogenic engine, right, which uses cryogenic technology for propulsion. I hope it is clear. And cryogenic technology is useful in lot of is applied in lot of spheres. Pharmaceuticals mein, for preservation of drugs and medicines. Food industry mein. So you store something at minus 150 degrees centigrade, it is going to be preserved for a long period of time, right? In forensics, etc., it is used apart from space. So this is the thing, and ISRO has achieved this thing for CE20 cryogenic engine. Now it will be used for Gaganyaan, etc. missions. It can restart again. So you need not have ground intervention for this. It can restart in between its trajectory. This is the thing. And it will be powering the LVM3, the famous LVM3, which has replaced the GSLV Mk3, right? So earlier the GSLV Mk3 was there, now it has been replaced by LVM3. I hope you remember. Then next is defense. Let's move on to defense. In defense, you have Indian Navy to commission. Indian Navy basically has commissioned this latest survey ship, INS Nirdeshak. So remember, recently Indian Navy has commissioned INS Nirdeshak. What is this INS Nirdeshak? INS Nirdeshak is a latest edition of the survey vessel under the survey vessel large product. Survey vessel is basically, they are using these shipping vessels for survey purpose, survey projects. Survey will help them in oceanographic survey, hydrological survey, etc. Okay. Remember, it will enhance India's maritime capabilities as well accordingly. Then next, indices and rankings. According to Bloomberg's World's Richest Families 2024, Waltons, they have reclaimed the top spot as world's wealthiest family. Waltons. In India, if you see, Ambani has secured 8th position with $99.6 billion, while Shapurji Palonji, they have stood 23rd. Walton family, richest family, belongs to US, remember. Ambani's rank is 8th. Then we have, according to the recent Hilton report, nearly 1 in 5 individuals, they plan leisure trips specifically to explore new restaurants and culinary experiences. According to this report, it says the leisure trips basically your free time trips. When you have some free times, you want to enjoy your free time, that is leisure. You go on for trips. So generally it says, it has highlighted individuals, they plan accordingly, according to their culinary experience, right? Or new restaurants if they have been opened up. So they want to try new cuisines basically. This is the report. And world's 10 best food cities accordingly, which have been ranked by this report, can be important. First you see the Naples from Italy, Milan from Italy, Bologna from Italy, Florence from Italy, and Mumbai from India. So Mumbai from India has a rank of 5th. Must try dishes, vada pav. Okay, so you can go and try this from Mumbai, although now it is available all over the world, but of course routes will be there. So remember this thing. So basically Italy is topping this list and India has 5th position, Mumbai from India. Indian cities ki ranking mein, as I told you, 5th is Mumbai, then Amritsar, New Delhi, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Chennai, all these are there. Reports. According to a recent study published in Lancet Planet Health, no one in India lives in areas where the yearly average pollution levels are below the level recommended by WHO. So actually no one in India is living in such a place where the yearly average pollution is below what has been recommended by WHO. Every city is almost polluted, right? With a particulate matter PM 2.5 associated with 1.5 million deaths a year. PM 2.5 बहुत ज़्यादा है, almost everywhere in India. Particulate matter 2.5. So PM 2.5 basically size होता है उसका ना, तो particles you inhale, PM 2.5 is less, PM 10 is bigger than that, right? So the lesser the size of the particle, it will be inhaled easily and will be causing you a lot of disorders. 81.9% of Indian population are living in these areas. Okay. All these figures are not important. You need not remember these things. Itna nahi padna hai. Just remember this thing. The next one we have is a working paper released by Niti Aayog. Improved sanitation either through private or shared sources, it reduces child malnutrition, which in turn reduces child mortality across Indian states. So basically we need to focus on improved sanitation. If sanitation is better, according to this working paper by Niti Aayog, it will help in reduction of child malnutrition, okay, and then child mortality across the states. This paper was authored by Arvind Virmani and Shruti Sabharwal. So you need to ensure drinking water quality, in order to prevent these disorders. Then WHO has published its first ever global status report on drowning prevention. So basically डूबने से जितने लोगों की डेथ हुई है, according to this report, it gives out certain data regarding that. Drowning, as I told you, डूबने से, right? डूबने से. So this report of WHO global status report, this is first ever of its kind. First ever. It has not been released previously. So this is more important than. It has been released in Geneva, where the WHO is headquartered. So remember two facts here. It has been released in Geneva and WHO is headquartered in Geneva. What is the finding? Finding says 3 lakh people died by drowning in 2021 around the world. Okay. So almost 3 lakh people around the world, they died of drowning in 2021. Close to 92% of such deaths, they took place in low and middle income countries. Okay. And particularly affecting the marginalized people. So you see drowning and such rising trends of death due to drowning, somewhere, not only somewhere, a major reason is also climate change. So a lot of coastal regions, they are witnessing sea level rising, right? So it is going to affect such people, and particularly those people who cannot afford to shift or say migrate quickly, leaving their jobs. So we need to take action regarding this. Moving on to awards books, another category. The National Energy Conservation Awards, they have been conferred in New Delhi on 14 December under different categories. Okay. So these are the categories in awards. Under transport category, your railway stations mein, the Andhra Pradesh Reningunta Junction railway station has been prized first. In institutions category, DISCOM institution, first prize goes to North Bihar Power Distribution Company. State Performance Award goes to Maharashtra in DISCOM. Okay. So institutions की category में State Performance Award goes to Maharashtra first, then Andhra Pradesh, then Assam. So these are certain category awards provided by them. And what are these National Energy Conservation Awards? They were introduced in 1991 by whom? So remember, they were initiated by Bureau of Energy Efficiency under Ministry of Power. Bureau of Energy Efficiency under Ministry of Power, and they are awarded on 14 December on National Energy Conservation Day. Why only on 14 December? National Energy Conservation Day की वजह से, to raise awareness regarding energy conservation and acknowledge the efforts. Then you have the Indian film Kumbaya Story. The Kumbaya Story has bagged trophy at the 13th TVE Global Sustainability Film Awards held at the iconic BAFTA, the British Association of Film and Television. Okay, so remember, the Kumbaya Story, this can be important, has received 13th TVE Global Sustainability Film Awards. This is Transforming Society short film category, produced by Kumbaya Producers Co. Limited. Then you have video game Astrobot, a family-friendly sci-fi adventure. It was named 2024 Game of the Year. So this video game Astrobot, remember this fact only. Astrobot, which is a video game, has been named as 2024 Game of the Year. Okay. At the annual awards considered for Oscars of the digital entertainment industry. So this is Astrobot Game of the Year 2024. Remember this. Then talking about books, so renowned philanthropist, author and thought leader Dr. Dinesh Shahara has launched a much anticipated book, Dalai Lama's Secret to Happiness. So this can be important. Remember, new book has been launched, Dalai Lama's Secret to Happiness, authored by Dr. Dinesh Shahara. It was much awaited. Then festivals mein you have 22nd edition of Divya Kala Mela, organized by Department of for empowerment of persons with disabilities. 12 to 22 December, it is happening. What is the theme can be important? Empowered Divyangjan. Under this, they are trying to empower the persons with disabilities, providing them opportunities to showcase their skills and crafts. Okay, at India Gate, it will be there. Sports mein, you have Pakistan left arm pacer Mohammad Amir has announced retirement from international cricket. Then Sony Sports Network has secured 3-year deal to broadcast the Hockey India League. Yesterday also we have covered this news. Hockey India League is starting from the 24-25 session. It will be broadcasted by Sony Sports Network. Okay. Also, this follows the partnership Hockey India's agreement with Doordarshan, signifying a concerted effort to boost the league's viewership. So yesterday we have covered Doordarshan. Doordarshan will also be broadcasting this, and now you have Sony Sports Network, again another one in the row. Okay, so they are trying to make it as much popular as they can. Then you have Imad Wasim, who last played for Pakistan in ICC Men's T20 World Cup, has also retired from the international games. Talking about appointments, Reliance Industries has appointed Ira Bindra as Group President for People, Leadership and Talent Management. Then Mikhail has been elected as next President of Georgia. Remember, Mikhail Kavalishvili, next President of Georgia, is a former footballer. So remember, this name can be important, the persons in news category. Then you have French President Emmanuel Macron appointed Francois Bayrou as the new Prime Minister of France. So remember, new Prime Minister of France, also important, these two names, these Georgian President and new Prime Minister of France, remember, Francois Bayrou. And he will be the 4th Prime Minister in this year in France. Then you have Ellen, India's premier name in foundational supplemental learning. Ellen, you all know Ellen, right? Has partnered with cricket icon Mahendra Singh Dhoni to highlight the role on how expert guidance can help you achieve your goals, right? So Ellen ne tie up kiya Mahendra Singh Dhoni ke saath. Then RBI has approved appointment of Manish Jain as executive director, whole-time executive director of Yes Bank for 3 years. Okay, so recent appointment for Yes Bank, Manish Jain, whole-time executive director. Up to 2027, he will be there. Conferences mein, World Hindu Economic Forum being organized in Mumbai, or it has been organized in Mumbai, 13 to 15 December. World Hindu Economic Forum. What was the theme? Think in the future for the future. Think in the future for the future. Just remember the theme of the event and the date. Nothing else is required here. Then Prime Minister has chaired the 4th National Conference of Chief Secretaries from 14th December, which was organized by our Niti Aayog. What was the theme of this conference? Promoting entrepreneurship, employment and scaling, leveraging the demographic dividend. Okay, this was the theme. And leveraging the demographic dividend. What is demographic dividend? You all know that. Demographic dividend is a phase when a country has maximum population in the working age group. Okay, so India is right now in the phase of demographic dividend. Working age group is 15 to 59 years of age, because that is an asset for the country. So if you have maximum population which is independent, which is working age group, it is going to contribute a lot to economic growth. So they are trying to leverage upon this, take benefit out of it. And unless you provide employment opportunities, this cannot be realized. Then next, there is this committee, Department of Financial Services in Finance Ministry. They are trying to set up a committee which will be submitting a fresh list of such accounts which can be transferred to National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited, NARCL, which is a bad bank of India. Okay, so this committee, they are trying to make, and remember who will be chairing it. It will be chaired by SBI Chairman CS Shetty. Remember, CS Shetty will be chairing this. What is NARCL? NARCL, National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited, is a bad bank. What is the idea of bad bank? Bad bank basically acquires all these NPAs from the banking system. So it helps banking system and financial institutions clear off their NPAs, clear off their balance sheets. it acquires it from them and tries to recover with a lot of method like auctioning, etc. Right? So this is the concept of bad bank. NARCL was established as a bad bank in 2021 and it has acquired 22 accounts almost with exposure of 95,711 crores. Such NPAs accounts which have been converted into NPA, non-performing assets. More than 90 days they have not come back. So it has acquired and tried to recover them. Generally it acquires big amount like more than 500 crores worth of NPA if it has been there. So helps banking system and financial institutions clear of their stressed assets. This is the thing. So a committee has been set up. That's why I've explained you this concept. Remember, it will be chaired by SBI Chairman CS Shetty. They are trying to transfer some 1 lakh crore to NARCL by March 2025 to clear off more such NPAs from the banking system. That's why this committee is formed. Important days mein we have Bangladesh recently observed. Bangladesh has recently observed Martyred Intellectuals Day on 14 December. This is to mark the day of brutality when Pakistani forces killed hundreds of intellectuals, doctors, teachers, in Dhaka as a part of another parts of Bangladesh 1971. So then you have National Energy Conservation Day. Recently we have covered 14 December in which different category of awards we have also covered has been observed. And person in news mein you have Prime Minister paying tribute to the legendary actor Raj Kapoor on the 100th birth anniversary. So recently 100th birth anniversary. Centenary celebration we have covered for the Kolkata airport and then 100th birth anniversary for the legendary Raj Kapoor. Remember these things. That was it for 13 to 14 December. Current affairs. A lot of important things and technical things were there. Technical news were there from regulatory body segment. I have tried to explain you in the best possible manner. I hope you have understood that thing. So now it's time for top 5 MCQs or the short series. So I am expecting answers from all of you. Let's discuss. Question number 1. According to recent Finance Ministry data, UPI payments have reached a major milestone of processing 15,547 crore transaction worth how many lakh rupees? How many lakh crore rupees from January to November period? What is the correct option? Worth how many lakh crores of rupees from January to November 2024? What will be the correct option? Anyone? So the correct option would be 223 lakh crores. These transactions, they are worth 223 lakh crores. Remember this milestone, okay? 223 lakh crores would be the correct option. Next question. SEBI has recently proposed a new framework which we have discussed in much detail for retail investor participation. So SEBI recently has proposed a new framework for retail investor participation in which of these following trading or types of trading? Intraday, blockchain trading, GSEC trading, algo trading, none of the above. SEBI has proposed this new framework for which of the following categories under trading? The correct option would be algo trading, algorithm trading. I have explained you in detail what is algorithm trading, right? Next. According to Ministry of Power, which of the following states is the leading one in terms of public EV charging stations? Tell me. Which of these following states is the leading state in terms of public EV charging station installation? Which state is leading? The correct option would be Karnataka. C is the right answer here. Okay. Karnataka is the leading one, followed by Maharashtra and UP. So Karnataka is the leading state in public EV charging station installation. Remember, Karnataka. Next question. NASA and SpaceX will be launching SphereX observatory, along with which they will be also launching Punch, NASA's Punch mission or Punch satellite. what will or what does punch stands for? This is the question. Tell me. Punch, NASA's punch is in news. What does punch stands for? Or what is the extended form of punch? What is the extended form of punch? Punch stands for polarimeter to unify the corona and heliosphere. A is the right option. This one is not unify the corona. Polar mission, no. Polarimeter to identify the corona, no. A is the right option, okay. Polarimeter to unify the corona and heliosphere. A is the correct extended form of punch. Remember that. It will be studying sun's corona. Next and last question of the short series. Which of the following films has bagged a trophy at 13th TVE Global Sustainability Film Awards held at BAFTA, British Association of Film and Television? Tell me, which film has bagged this award recently? The Flycatcher, The Paradox, The Kumbaya Story, The Legend of South, none of the above. Which film has received this 13th TV Global Sustainability Award? The correct option would be The Kumbaya Story. Remember this name, The Kumbaya Story. Yes, A is the right option. So these were the questions from the short series today. Top 5 questions we have discussed, and the class was quite lengthy but very useful. Very important things were discussed today, and a lot of concepts I have explained. So please revise all of them so that you are well versed with all these current events and the static portion as well. I hope the class was useful for you. Thank you so much for staying tuned for such a long time. I'll see you in the next session. Till then, have a great day. Thank you.